Hey everybody, my name is Fritz Bacon and I am a director here in New York City. And today we're going to talk about the new Lumix S9 full-frame mirrorless camera. I had a chance to play with the S9 over the past few weeks and it is a very intriguing camera. It's a very impressive camera for how small it is. Not only that, but it has options. And I am talking lots of different options, not only in the colors, but in the lenses, as this is a full-frame L-mount camera. You can use any of Lumix's L series, including the new 26mm Pancake lens that I have right here, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Now this camera is designed with content creators in mind. So when I was doing all my tests, I tried to sort of emulate that lifestyle, just bringing the camera along in my everyday life and taking photos and videos that way. Now the first test with this lens was bringing it along with me on a fishing trip that my buddy Carl had invited me to. Now to be honest here, the fish were biting like crazy and I didn't really get to test this the way I normally would. Instead of being a filmmaker, I was just a dude catching some fish on a boat with his buddies, which I think was actually the perfect test for what this camera is designed for. It's for bringing along to those everyday moments and capturing it in elevating the content better than, say, a phone would capture. After the fishing test, I thought about other ways that people might use this camera in sort of an everyday sense. And I wanted to shoot a subject that everyone pretty much universally loves. And then it hit me. Cats. Everybody loves taking photos of their pets, and this was also a great opportunity to test out the phase hybrid autofocus, specifically the animal detection mode that comes with the S9. Honestly, the hardest part about this test was wrangling the cats, but eventually I was able to get them photo ready. Pro tip to anyone taking photos or videos of cats that maybe aren't super familiar with you, if you let them smell and interact with your camera, it helps. I've done this on set a bunch of times and they always seem to be a little bit more receptive than when I haven't. Another tip with cats is to use their toys to get them to come to you. From there, you can then shoot lower, it'll get them bigger in the frame and that just looks nice. The S9 made getting shots of these cats, even though they were moving and playing with the toys, super easy, as it can shoot up to 30 frames per second in photo mode. I happen to have an extra S9 on hand with me for this project, so I invited Allie out to come shoot with me. She typically shoots on 35mm black and white, but with the S9 there is a real-time LUT feature, which I thought would be perfect to test here. Essentially, all you have to do is press this button and you can swap through the LUTs and pick what fits the scene. These LUTs are downloadable on the new Lumix Lab App for easy transfer to the camera. Once that was all set up, we went for a walk over the Williamsburg Bridge, capturing really anything that caught our eye. For this, we're both shooting on the new Lumix 26mm f8 lens. This lens is really fun. It's super tiny, letting you fit the whole camera into a pocket easily. It's also worth noting this lens is a little bit different as it's a fixed aperture and it's fully manual. But the S9 makes it easy to know when your shots are in focus with this guide. But I will say there were a few times I completely forgot I was using a manual lens and I didn't set the proper focal distance. And a few shots were left out of focus, but as long as you remember you have a manual lens, it's a breeze. These were Allie's favorite photos. And these were mine. We figured while we were in the area, we would head down to Domino Park, and Allie and I thought we needed a subject, so I decided to switch places with my cameraman Max and have him model for us. Allie switched her camera to color and took a few different shots of Max in a few different locations. While they were doing that, I saw a shot that I wanted to come back to. So once she was done, me and Max walked over to the water fountain and I had him blow some water into the front of the lens. And I got this really cool photo, and honestly, it might be one of my new favorite portraits I've taken. Now, a very important part of this camera is the new Lumix Lab app that I mentioned earlier. This allows you not only to control the camera, but it's also where you can find and create LUTs and then send those directly to the camera. It's interesting because with this app, plus the real-time LUTs that are in camera, it kind of eliminates the need for a laptop. So say you're running around and you don't have time to upload to a laptop, or say you're used to working on a phone already, this process from phone to app can streamline your posting process. If you're looking to upload to social media, you can do it instantly through the app. Now, after all these tests, I will say this camera is really good for someone who's looking to upgrade their content, or someone who hasn't touched a full-frame camera yet and is looking to dive into the world of photo and video. But what about someone who shoots professional photo or video? Someone who's used to just using rigged out cinema cameras? Someone like me. The first step would be stabilization. Starting with rails, I would then pick a long lens to get some nice compression and bokeh, as well as to really put the 6.5 stop, 5-axis dual IS2 and active IS technology to the test. Next up, I would add an external monitor. I also wanted to power everything. The USB-C charging port made that easy, but I had to go digging through my large drawers of cables to find a mini HDMI to an HDMI cable. When it was all said and done, I had a pretty solid shoulder rig, and it was also golden hour. All I needed was a model, and oh hey, Ali is back. We'll add a quick grade to the 14 stops of vlog, and now it's a montage. What I really like about this camera is it's a camera that can meet you at your level. Are you a content creator looking to level up what you make? This camera's made for you. Are you just getting into photo and video and you really want something that'll grow with you? This camera's made for you. Are you already established in your skills and you're just looking to try something new? You guessed it, this camera is made for you. It's not often that I really see a camera that fits so many different types of creatives, but it makes sense. This camera is jam-packed with features. From the real-time LUT to the 6.5 stop 5-axis dual IS2 stabilization, it really checks a lot of boxes in a tiny package. My other favorite thing about this camera was the colors. And no, I don't mean the 4 colors that it comes in, which were cool, but I'm talking about what I was able to pull out of both the photos and the video. I was very impressed. So if you're looking for a full frame camera to both level up your work and grow with you, the Lumix S9 is made for you.